Hello, it's Thursday, May 7th, 2020, so we're looking at our Thursday math columns. Make sure you put your first and last name on the form. Let's look at problem number 1. It says Lindsay planted 6 tomato plants in her garden. Each tomato plant grew 7 tomatoes. How many tomatoes does Lindsay have altogether? All right, so I know the first thing I'm going to do after I read it is I'm going to look at my numbers, 6 and 7. I know I have to use those two numbers. So let's get a picture in our mind of what we need to do. So Lindsay plants 6 tomato plants in her garden. All right, so I'm going to draw a picture of that. And then each tomato plant grew 7 tomatoes. How many tomatoes does Lindsay have all together? So when I put all the plants together, I count all the tomatoes. How many does she have? Here's my number 6 and 7 that were in the problem. And then I have 6 plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It says in the problem that each plant has 7 tomatoes. So I'll put 7 tomatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on each plant. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 plus 7, I'm at 14. And I have to add 7 more on each one. So 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I'm going by multiples of 7, 7, 14, 21. I add 7 more, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 21 plus 7 is 28. And I keep going. I'm on my 5th plant, and I have to add 7 tomatoes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 28 plus 7, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Plus 7, my last 7. I'm on my 6th plant. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. So 35 plus 7 is 42. So 42 total tomatoes is what Lindsay would get. Or you could have done 6 times 7 or 7 times 6, because we know the commutative property allows us to switch our two factors, 6 times 7 or 7 times 6, and we get 42 total tomatoes is what she grew. The next problem says, what's the area of the rectangle? Our keyword here is area. I know area is the inside. All right, I can think of a rectangular array that I could make and solve for the area inside. So if I take the same drawing they have, I have a 4 going across the top and 10 for the length here, so width and length. I can either use my formula, length times width, so 10 times 4, or I can look at the array that I can make, and if I have going across the top 1, 2, 3, 4, remember I'm filling in the inside, I need 4 across the top, and I need 10 going down, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have now a rectangular array, and I'm counting the inside. I'd get 10, 20, 30, 40. So 10 times 4 is 40. So the area is 40 square units. Be careful, the bottom one says 28. If I was finding the perimeter is a fence on the outside, the perimeter is 28. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 4 is 24, plus 4 is 28. But I'm finding the area. So I want the inside. I want length times width, or 40. The next problem says, which shape below is partitioned into 3 equal pieces? All right, there's keywords here. We have partitioned, we have equal, and we have the number 3. So let's look real quick at those. So partitioned, we know, means divided. So we're dividing it. Equal, they have to be the same size if they're equal, and 3 pieces. All right. The first one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a no right away because that's not 3 equal pieces. So we've narrowed it down to the last 2. This one has 3 pieces, but they're not equal. The middle is small. The last one has 3 and they're equally partitioned or equally divided. So the last answer is the correct answer. All right, the last problem says, is 2/3 plotted on the number line correctly? So I know that between my whole numbers, so I start with 0, my whole number 1, I have fractions in here. And let's look a little bit closer at this, all right? So whenever I have a number line and I need to figure out what the fractions are that are supposed to go on these little dashes, the very first thing I need to do is count the jumps it takes to go from 0 to 1. So I start at 0 and I jump 1, 2, 3 jumps from 0 to 1. 1, 2, 3 jumps. So this 3 is my denominator here, however many jumps it takes. Now, my 3 goes on the bottom. Oops, I'm going to put it in blue. Sorry about that. All right, so something over 3, something over 3. My 1 is the same as 1, 2, 3 jumps over 3. To get the number 1, I need the same number over the same number. Fraction bar means divide, so 3 divided by 3 is 1. Now my jumps, I just label my jumps. This is 0 out of 3 jumps. I've made if I'm starting right here, I have 0 jumps out of 3. My first one is 1 jump out of my 3 jumps. My next line is 2 jumps out of my 3 jumps. And my last one is 3 jumps out of a total of 3 jumps. So they wanted to know, was the number line labeled correctly? Yes, it is labeled correctly because this would be 1, 2, 3 jumps. They use the 3 in the denominator, and when they jump 1, 2, they're at the second jump out of 3. So yes, it is labeled correctly. Make sure at the bottom you submit it. If you want a copy, you can toggle over and have the answers sent to you. And that is the end of our Thursday math columns. Make sure you have a thankful Thursday.